Morning, everyone. Happy Monday. We are going to get started on today's topic, which is what to say when you are put on the spot. Let me just pull up the chat so I can see you guys. How are you guys all doing today before we start? Let me hear it from a couple of you first. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me before I get started. Hey everyone, welcome. This is Maria Malik, your corporate speaking coach. I have a live for you guys today where we'll be talking about what to say when you're put on the spot. And this is basically impromptu speaking. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. Hi, Caroline. Hi, John. Let me say hi to a couple of you guys first. Usman, Darlene, Paul, Alan. What's up? What's up? Hi, everybody. I'm good. Thank you. How are you doing? Going dance for UD. What does that mean, Patrick? I'm not sure what that means, but if you're just joining me right now, we're going to start in just a couple of minutes. So if you're joining me from LinkedIn, hello. I know I have a few of you guys on YouTube. By the way, before I start, I want to let you know that I'm actually going to start this week posting a lot more content on YouTube. So if you don't already, go follow my YouTube. You guys just search Sincerely Maria and it should come up. Hi, John. Hi, Patrick. So yeah, just letting you guys know that my YouTube is going to be up and running again this week. I have lots of content, a lot of things I will not be posting on LinkedIn. It's going to be more video focused. So if you are an introvert, you want to get better at public speaking, make sure you make your way to my YouTube and subscribe. I wish I had the direct link for you guys right now, but I don't. Anyways, please let me know where you are from. I love to see what part of the world I'm reaching just before we start. We do have about a half hour live today on what to say when you're put on the spot. Just let me know where you guys are from. Also, let me know if you're an introvert or an extrovert. Tell me which one of those you are. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Let me know in the comment section. You guys know that most of my content is for introverts, but if you're afraid of public speaking, you'll still be able to learn a lot. We have Toronto in the house, Tunisia, New York, great, Pakistan, Panama, Egypt, great. Anyone from California? I live in California. I am Canadian, moved to California a few years ago. Ghana, okay, we have Kansas, Samir, introvert, India. Okay, guys, perfect. Great. United Arab Emirates. Great. So we're going to get started. And like I said, I know I'm just giving everyone a few seconds to join in, but I want to let you guys know if you're an introvert, if you are really looking to get better at public speaking, if you're afraid of speaking up, if you're more on the shy and quiet side, and you are someone that wants to get better so that you can get promoted and move up in the corporate ladder, then do join my masterclass that's happening this Saturday. Go onto my profile and click on join live masterclass, secure your seat because I only have 100 seats. So make sure that you take advantage of that. It is happening this Saturday. It's going to be live. I'm going to be teaching you guys lots of stuff, but make sure you grab your seat. You do need to get your seat. Again, go to my profile, click on live masterclass. But let's get started with today's topic, which is what to say when you're put on the spot. Ugh, literally the worst feeling. Honestly, I hate it. And I know most of you guys hate it, especially if you're an introvert. And what is that? That's pretty much impromptu speaking. When, let's say you're in a meeting and somebody asks you a question, your boss asks you something, and now you're like, oh, I didn't prepare for this. I don't know how to answer this. And then what ends up happening? You start to get nervous, you start to forget things, and all of a sudden you don't even know who you are. But let's talk about what's actually happening in that time when you're put on the spot and now you have to speak without any preparation. So what's really happening during this time is that you've lost a little bit of that power, that control over yourself. So when you're put on the spot, you're losing control over your thoughts, your body, your mind, your emotions, because when you're put on the spot, it's the unexpected. And nobody likes the unexpected. We as human beings, our psychology basically tells us that we want to know what's happening. And if we don't, then we sense some sort of danger. So, of course, we don't like being put on the spot. But I want to teach you guys a couple of things that you should do to make sure that when you are put on the spot, you're prepared and you do know what to say and how to say it. Okay. So I'm going to teach you a structure to follow. And this is, by the way, a structure that works for everyone. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It also doesn't even matter what type of question you get asked. You will always be able to use this structure. Okay. With me so far, everyone? So again, we talked about losing a little bit of your power. So what you need to do during this time is gain that power back. Okay, gain that power back. But I do want to say quickly hello to some of the people that joined in the masterclass, because let's see how many of you guys joined. Okay, great. We have David. David, looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Amritanshu, excited to see you. Again, if you have not already, Lena, excited to see you. If you haven't already, go to my profile, click on Masterclass, reserve your seat so that you are able to join my Masterclass on Saturday. You guys, if you want to learn, if you're an introvert, you want to get better at public speaking, you don't want to miss this one. All right, let's go back to losing some of that power. So how do you control or get back a little bit of that power that you've lost? How do you regain power over your thoughts, power over your emotions? Because what happens when you're put on the spot, your heart starts beating fast, your nervous system starts riling up. And then of course, because of that, you get more and more nervous. And do you think you'll be able to speak as well if you're nervous? Probably not. You're probably going to give a terrible answer. And then you're going to look back and think, oh, I should have said this. I should have said that. Correct? So we want to avoid that. We want to make sure that when you're put on the spot, you're ready. And again, I'm going to teach you guys a structure right now. I just want to make sure everything is working perfect. Great. Now, let's talk about that structure. Okay. I want you guys to remember, anytime that you're put on the spot, there will always be some sort of introduction you're doing. Now, I don't mean introducing yourself. Hi, my name is Maria. Hi, I'm this. Hi, my name's Sadia. Hi, my name's Noman. No, what I'm talking about when it comes to an introduction, there will always be a part of your beginning. This is really that beginning where you're setting the tone, where you're letting people know what to expect when you will be speaking. There's always an introduction. Okay, and I want you to think of this kind of like an essay. Think of an essay. Every essay has an introduction. It has some sort of thesis. It has some sort of outline of what you're going to be talking about. Okay, so I want you to follow an essay format. So what happens during this time and what consists of that essay format? So let's talk about the beginning, the introduction. So the first thing I want you to do, if you are put on the spot, is repeat the question. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Repeat the question. Let's say that I'm in a meeting right now and somebody asks me a question. They say, hey, Maria, what do you think are some leadership qualities every leader should possess? So again, that's that time where I've lost a little bit of that power, a little bit of that control over my emotions, my thoughts, everything. So I want to regain that control. So what I'm going to do is repeat the question. I'm going to say, okay, so what are some key characteristics of a leader that I think every leader should possess? You want to repeat that question. When you repeat the question, two things happen. Number one, you give yourself a little bit of time to think of something better. Okay. And the second thing that happens is you're now repeating the question and you're making sure you're understanding the question. And it also makes you sound so much more confident because now you're not caught off guard. Now you're not like, So you replace the that hesitation with the actual question. Okay, so it sounds so much more confident. So thank you, Gwyneth, for writing that down. Number one, you repeat the question. Okay, what's the second thing? And remember, we're still in our introduction. There's going to be a whole structure we're following. We are still in our introduction. So we're repeating the question in the introduction. The second thing you want to do is you want to comment on that question. Give your take on what you think about that question. Do you like the question? Do you not like the question? I'll give you an example. We'll go back to the leadership one. So I'm going to say, okay, so what are some key characteristics every leader should possess? That's actually a great question. I've never thought about that before. See how I'm now giving you my take, my comments on the question? Or let's say it's a difficult question. You could be honest and say, you know what, that's actually a very hard question. Never thought about that before. The point is, you saying this out loud shows that you're thinking about it and you're actually confident about what you're thinking about the actual question. So, number one, you're going to repeat the question. And number two, you're going to comment on the question, whether it's easy, hard. You can even say, actually, I was just talking about this with my friends the other day. So, I'm glad you brought it up because this is what we've discussed. Okay. So, number one, again, we're in the introduction. If you're just joining me, we're talking about following a structure for when you are put on the spot. We're in our introduction. During the introduction, we're going to do a couple things, repeat the question, and we are going to comment on the question. Okay? Now let's get into the actual body. Yeah, exactly, Mudith. Being honest is the best thing you could do. So now let's get into the middle. Okay, remember we talked about an essay. You're following an essay format. You have your introduction, you have your body, and then you have your conclusion, right? So let's talk about the body. What should you do during that body? What should you do during this time? Okay. All right. So during this time, I want you guys to do two things during the body. Again, going back to the essay, what you want to do is you want to give 3 examples, 3 reasons, 3 something. And the reason why you want to do 3 is because 3 becomes a pattern. I want you to look all around you. Think about a lot of different things around you. Think about stories. Think about public service announcements. A lot of things come in 3s, and that's not a coincidence. Let me give you an example. 911. Why is it not 9111 or 91? Why is it 911? Have you guys ever wondered? What about children's books? 3 Little Pigs. Why is there always 3 something? 3 Stooges. What about the public service announcement, stop, drop, and roll? Why are there 3 things? Have you guys ever wondered? What about religion, the Holy Trinity? Why are there 3? Why is there's a lot of 3s when it comes to science, mathematics? Look all around you. And if you can think of some examples, tell me right now as well. Everything that comes in 3s, the reason is that everything that comes in 3s, the human brain recognizes it as a pattern. There you go. Rizvi says 3 Musketeers. Can you guys think of anything else? 3 Stooges. There's three so many things, right? There's a reason, you guys. 3 becomes a pattern. So when you are giving your answer, I want you to do it in 3s. So the 3 reasons why I think, or the 3 things that I think every leader should possess are, okay? So remember we did our introduction. We've repeated the question. How my last 3 big brain cells. Yeah, that's me every Monday morning. It's actually very funny. ABC. Sides of a triangle. There we go, Lewis, right? 3s, there 3 is everywhere, you guys. It's everywhere. Including your last 3 brain cells. I agree. All right. So sorry, that completely caught me off guard and I just had to laugh at that. But let's get back to the 3s, okay? So remember, introduction, repeating the question, commenting on the question. Now we're in our body and then we have our conclusion. So what are we doing in our body? This is what we're going to do during our body. Okay, going back to that question. Let's say I was asked, hey, Maria, can you tell us 3 characteristics you think every leader should possess? So again, I'm going to number 1 during my intro. Okay, so what are 3 characteristics I think every leader should possess? That's a great question. I've actually never thought about that before, but I'm glad you've asked me. So the 3 characteristics I think every leader should possess are, number 1, now we're in our body. Number 1, I think that every leader should be empathetic. Number 2, I think that every leader should lead by example. And number 3, I think that every leader should have really good communication skills. Okay, see how I'm answering the question in 3s. You could either say number 1, number 2, number 3. You could say A, B, C, firstly, secondly, thirdly, whichever way you want to do it, as long as it's consistent. Just try not to do A and then second and then lastly. So try to just be consistent with your 1, 2s, and 3s. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If that makes sense, say yes. And if you're with me so far, say yes. I want to make sure that I'm explaining this in very simple terms so that everyone is able to understand. Does that make sense so far? Do you guys know now what to do at the beginning of when you get asked a question? So your intro and your body. Say yes if you understand and if it's making sense so far. Okay. And as I'm waiting for you guys to answer, because I know there's like a little bit of a lag, as I'm waiting for you guys to answer, I also want to remind you that I am hosting a live masterclass this Saturday, and I want to invite you guys to the masterclass. It's going to be about an hour and a half of lots of information on how you can become a better speaker so you get promoted faster. So if you're an introvert, if you want to get promoted faster, if you are someone that really wants to move up in the corporate world and you understand the importance of public speaking and how important it is in the corporate environment, then you won't want to miss this one. So all you have to do to join is go to my profile. So click on my profile and then click on the link that says live masterclass. I only have 100 spots, you guys. I can't let in more than 100 people because we do a lot of real life examples and work during the call. So make sure you grab your spot. Let me say hi to the people that just joined. Let me give you guys a shout out. So people that just joined, let's see here. Okay, Asma, really excited to see you. Pari, really excited to see you. Let's see, who else do we have? Abbas, excited to have you, Abbas. It's gonna be really good. Let's see what else. Magesh, awesome. You guys have lots of you guys. Anna, I'm gonna see you guys Saturday. Excited for that. Hamid. Okay. All right. Again, if you have not joined yet, make sure you grab your spot. Even if you're a CEO, an executive public speaker, never goes out of style or practice. Exactly, you guys. This is one skill, being able to public speak in front of a lot of people, especially if you want to be seen as a leader in your field, you have to be able to do. Okay, let's go back now to our structure. Okay. And I see a lot of you guys have said yes and that it was well explained. Good to know. And here's the thing also, you guys. I know most people think that when you're explaining something or you're talking, but like what people do is they make it so elaborate and they make it so complicated. If you've ever noticed, great public speakers are people that simplify things. So you have to speak in the most simplest terms. Even if you have a very good vocabulary, you don't necessarily need to use words like big words because you're going to lose people. Okay? You always want to make sure that everyone can understand your message. That is the number one thing. So I know I'm getting a little sidetracked, but that's kind of what I just wanted to point out. So you have to make sure you're checking in with your audience and they're understanding what you're saying. And it sounds like you guys are. So I'm happy to hear that. Now let's go back to what to say when you're put on the spot. So we talked about the introduction. We talked about the body. Now here is one thing that nobody does. Okay. Most people will stop at the body. They'll give their answer. They'll do some sort of introduction. They'll give their answer and then they will say, yep. Mm-hmm. And then there's that awkward silence. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That awkward silence where when you finish talking and then you're just like, yeah. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? So you want to avoid those awkward silences. Instead, you want to now go into your conclusion. I personally like to call it an outro. So you have your intro, you have your outro, and you have your body in the middle. So let's talk about the outro. I call it an outro. And by the way, I will be talking a lot more about this in detail during the masterclass. So if there's something you're missing or you still feel like you don't understand, do attend the masterclass. So let's talk about the outro. What happens during the outro? What is an outro? Your outro is basically your conclusion. Remember, think essay, intro, body, conclusion. So your outro is your conclusion. Now, there's a couple of things that you could do during this time to avoid that awkward silence, to make sure you let people know you're done speaking, and to make sure that you've passed the mic on to somebody else. What you want to do during this time is you want to summarize some of your key points. Let's say you spent a lot of time in your body. Okay, most people, they have a very short attention span. So what you want to do during the end is summarize some of those key points. Let's say you spent a few minutes in the body. So now summarize. You're going to summarize by saying, yes. So again, like I said, just a couple of things that I believe are really important when it comes to leadership qualities is number one, empathy is important. Number two, it's really important to have good communication skills. And number three, leading by example. So just to summarize one more time, these are the three things. Okay, so you want to summarize. That's one thing you could do. There's a lot you could do during your outro. I'm just giving you guys some guidelines of what to do during that essay format. So exactly, Rizvi, just like a recap. Remember, people have a short attention span. That's why you guys hear me repeating stuff over and over again, because you might not remember everything. And a lot of people will forget what you said 2 minutes ago. I sometimes forget, wait, what did I even say 2 minutes ago? So imagine your audience. People have a short attention span, you guys. We can all thank TikTok for that. I can never sit down and watch TV anymore, by the way, because of that. Like, I can't sit down and get through one episode of TV because I need to have that hit. So I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. If you're on TikTok, TikTok gives you that hit after hit after hit. So people's attention span has gone down significantly because of TikTok and these short videos. So if you're still with me right now, and if you were with me from the beginning, that means you have a good attention span. So I applaud you. Great job. Now, again, in the outro, we're going to repeat some of the stuff. We're going to summarize. What else you need to say during this time is thank people for the question. If you want to sound confident, if you want to sound like, oh, you know what? I know exactly what I'm talking about, or thank you for that question. Again, regaining a little bit of that control that you've lost. If you want to do that, then you want to make sure that you're letting people know, hey, thank you for that question, or thank you for bringing that up. I hope that answered the question for you. If there's anything you need me to clarify, please let me know, and I'd love to elaborate. Does that not sound so much more confident than you just sitting there and saying, yeah, yeah, I'm done. So you want to transition out, okay? You want to make sure that you transition out. So you're going to do your summary. You're also going to do your thanking the audience for the question, or whoever asked you the question. Because when you say, hey, thank you for that question, now you're saying, oh, I don't mind that you asked me that question. And you know what? I'm more than happy to answer it. And people like it when you thank them. Thank you for your time. Thank you for that question. Thank you for being here today. People enjoy that. People like it. They want to be appreciated. So you as a speaker should be doing that. Just thank your audience. Thank you so much. Or thank you for that question if it was one person asking you that question. Okay. What else can you do? I gave you guys a couple of examples. You can summarize during your outro. You can thank the audience or the person that asked you a question. What else? There's a lot more you can do, but here's one more thing that you can do. You want to leave the doors open. Okay, what does that mean? Most of the time when we are exiting out or saying thank you so much for the question and all of that, what you want to do towards the end is now say something like, you know what? I actually really enjoyed talking about this. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on it. So you're leaving the doors open. Okay? Because typically when we get put on the spot, we're so nervous and we just want this to be over with as soon as possible. So you just run out the door, correct? So instead of that, instead of just running out the door and being like, oh my gosh, okay, thank you. No, I don't want to talk about this again. Leave the door open. So open the room for questions, just like Rizvi said. So let people know, hey, by the way, I'd love your thoughts on this. Or I'd love to know what you think about it. Or does that answer your question? Was there anything that you still would like for me to clarify? See how the doors are now open. You're inviting more questions. You're inviting a discussion. You're inviting some sort of back and forth with your audience. That is going to make you sound so much more confident than you just saying, okay, yes, thank you. Okay. Does that make sense, you guys? Remember, we're in our outro. If you've been here from the beginning, you guys know what I'm talking about. We are in our outro, also known as the conclusion when you think of it as an essay. Okay. And if you're just joining me, I'm going to do a quick recap in the end, so don't worry. But I just want to let you guys know one more time to go ahead and join the masterclass. Okay. If you found this helpful, and I am going to do a recap quickly again. If you found this helpful, make sure that you go to my profile right now and you click on live masterclass, because I'm going to be hosting an hour and a half of a masterclass. We're going to be doing lots of stuff. If you're an introvert, if you want to get better at public speaking, and you're someone that recognizes how important it is to be a better public speaker in order to move up in the corporate world, then you're not going to want to miss this one. Okay? So go ahead, go onto my profile, click on live masterclass. I only have 100 spots, unfortunately, you guys. So make sure you get your spot, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. But let's do a quick recap because I want you guys to remember what you learned today. Okay. Let me just see how many of you guys are still here. And if you've been here from the beginning, by the way, like I said, great job. That means you don't have such a short attention span like I do. And like most people do, by the way. All right, let's do a recap. So we talked about when you get put on the spot, you lose your nerves, you lose a little bit of that power, you lose a little bit of that control. So it's very important for you to regain that control. And when I say power and control, I'm not talking about like manipulative power. I'm talking about power over yourself, power over your thoughts, power over your mind, power over your nervous system, your body. You want to regain that control because the first thing that happens is you lose it. You lose that control over yourself and you start to get nervous. And then you go, those filler words come in. You don't know what to say. You don't know what not to say, right? So what you want to do is regain that control. And you're going to regain that control by following a very simple structure. It works for every question. It works for every industry. And that is the essay style structure. That means you're going to have an intro, you're going to have a body, and you're going to have an outro. Okay, so what are you going to do during this time? The intro, there's two things, very important things. You're going to repeat the question. And number two, you are going to comment on the question. Give people your take on how you feel about the question. Okay, that's the first thing in the intro. Then in your body, one thing you want to follow is make sure that you're giving examples in 3. Magic number 3. Things in 3s become a pattern for the human brain. It's easier for us to remember things when they come in 3s. Think of, you guys gave me so many examples yourselves. 3 Musketeers, 911, Stop, Drop, and Roll. Why are all of these things in 3s and not 2s? Why is it not 2 Musketeers? Why is it the Holy Trinity? There's a reason why things come in 3s, you guys. It's a pattern. This is studied by psychologists all over the world. 911. It's not 9111 or 91. Everything comes in 3. So when you give your answer, give it in 3s. It could be one thing, one reason why, but the 3 reasons backing up that one thing, it could be that as well. Okay. So you want to be in your body, you want to speak in 3s. It's very easy for an audience to remember. And then lastly, of course, towards the end, your outro. Make sure you do not forget your outro, your conclusion. This is where think of an essay. What do you do during that time? You summarize some of the most important things. You have some last notes that you want to put in there. Okay, don't try to introduce anything new into an outro just because there won't be enough time to explain it. But during your outro, there are 3 things that we talked about you want to do. Number 1, you could summarize. Number 2, you can thank the audience for their time. Or number 3, what you want to do during your outro is open it up for discussion. Be more welcoming, leave the doors open, and encourage questions, encourage a discussion. That's going to make you sound so much more confident. Okay? I hope that was helpful, you guys. This is a structure I make my clients follow and I make them practice it. And the difference you see between that first question I asked them versus the second question, it's insane because now they're structured. They're more in control over their thoughts, their emotions, and their vocabulary and their words that they're using. And you just sound that much more confident. So if you are someone that gets afraid of being put on the spot, you don't like impromptu speaking, follow this structure. It's really going to help you. And let me know. Send me a message. I do try to check my messages as much as I can. Send me a message on LinkedIn and let me know if you found this helpful. If you have other topics you want me to discuss, let me know, please. I try to do these lives as much as I can. As soon as my schedule allows it, I try to do these for you guys. So I'd love to hear what you guys want to learn more about. Drop that in either the chat box here or send me a DM. I'd love to know. Okay. Last reminder for the masterclass, you guys, this Saturday, if you have not already, go ahead and join. Let me give you guys a shout out to the other people that have joined right now. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot of you. Okay, so we have Cass. Cass, looking forward to seeing you this Saturday. Hawa, excited to see you this Saturday. We have Ryan. Ryan, I'm going to see you this Saturday. There's going to be a lot, you guys, a lot of things that we're going to work on. Mojgan, I'll see you this Saturday. That's a nice name, by the way. Subhash, I will see you this Saturday. Look at this, you guys have so many people that joined. That's awesome. Who else do we have? Marcia, see you this Saturday. Nora, and by the way, if you took this action where you signed up for this masterclass, great job. You should be proud of yourself because most people are not action takers. They'll just try to absorb information and try to learn, but they don't take action. If you want to get better as a public speaker, especially if you're an introvert, take action. You guys are going to learn so much. The masterclass is absolutely free and it's fun. It's actually fun. I try to make it fun for you guys. Okay. So I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I'm honestly so shocked that there's almost 200,000 of you guys here. It's crazy. Like I don't even know how like my mind can't comprehend how many people that is. It's insane. It's insane. But I appreciate you guys. And honestly, thank you so much for all of the love and all of the support. As long as you guys do that, I will be here helping you as much as I can. Okay. All right. So everyone have a fantastic week. And if you haven't yet already, do follow me and connect with me. I'd love to get to know you more and teach you all about being a great public speaker. Okay, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you all later. Bye.